Going on, Broncos country? Welcome to another edition of Broncos Daily with your host, Kurt Valenti. Please like and subscribe to the page, and of course, leave your comments, and I will get to your comments on a future show. As you can see, we are in the heat of the NFL Combine. It has just gotten started. Trying to make it look like a little combine with the new background. Let me know what you guys think. Do you like the background? I'm going to try a couple different backgrounds, obviously, throughout the podcast. But since it's combine, you know what? Let's get a little combine background and see what you guys think. But again, as we know, there was some breaking news yesterday, which we got into on today's podcast. Sean Paton gives up play calling to Davis Webb, our new offensive coordinator. That kind of surprised a lot of people in Denver, people outside of Denver. There were people who thought this would never happen, but it has. But so with that news going down, and again, please leave your comments. We have a couple comments today to get to regarding that. But what's your thoughts on, again, Sean, giving up the play calling? But also at the Combine, General Manager George Paton spoke. And I want to get into a couple of little tidbits that he mentioned and, give my thoughts and, again, get your feedback on it. What do you think about those comments? So first thing he mentioned when he wanted to talk about the offensive and defensive line. And he likes where it is, right? It's a very good, I believe, offense. And obviously we know about the defensive line, but they're, a little older. So he wants to keep rebuilding it, keep getting a little younger on both sides of the ball. And again, it's something I agree with, especially on the offense. McGlinchey is a little older. Bowles is, getting up there in age. Again, I like where it is. I want to roll with this offensive line. Again, we'll talk about the left guard spot with Ben Powers and Podchevsky and stuff like that, and to save some money, and we've mentioned that before. But for the majority, at least four of the five will be coming back, should be coming back. But we just got to make sure that, going forward, we're ready to go. With a couple of those guys, especially McGlinchey, looking at his salary for the next couple of years, make sure we have, a right tackle, a left tackle, just in the fold to be ready, just in case to, keep building that thing out to stay in as much as young as we can on that offensive line. Defensive, same thing. JFM, that's the point where we don't know what's going to happen with them. So that spot, again, Malcolm Roach did a great job filling in, but this year in the draft, I expect in a pretty high pick, the Broncos to go somewhere on that defensive line, right? And again, just, we have to have guys ready to go, for the next couple years, for some depth this year to get some playing time. So that's one thing Peyton suggested, and I agree with them. Second thing is he talked about the middle linebacker spot, right? He said Singleton and Stranad, he wants them back. But he also thinks that this is a deep middle linebacker draft. And I agree with him on everything. Again, Singleton and Stranad, it's about what are they going to cost and, what else can we do free agency? Like I said, if Devin Lloyd's available, he's my middle linebacker. I'm sorry, Singleton. I'm sorry, Stranad. You guys are coming back in in some kind of reserve role. If we can't get Devin Lloyd, do we bring, say, Singleton back, draft a C.J. Allen, draft a Jacob Rodriguez, guys that we talked about, and groom them. And, Singleton plays this year, and those guys get some reps, get some experience now, and they're ready to go for next year. So I agree with them. I think it all depends on Devin Lloyd. If we get him, listen, let's wrap him up. He's our middle linebacker, and we go from there. If not, hey, Stranad, Singleton, it sounded like he's, he wants Greenlaw back, and the plan is to get Greenlaw back. So, I'm on board with that. And this draft class is good for middle linebackers. So I think we're in a good spot when it comes to the middle linebacker. He then talked about running back and how, they view and he views RJ Harvey as a 3-down back and a running back 1. Now, this I don't know how much I'm going to agree with it when I say right now, right? We all know, and I have been banging the table for this since my first podcast. We need a running back one in this room, right? Again, I love RJ Harvey. I cannot give RJ Harvey the keys and say you are the running back one next year going into this championship window, championship season to try to get a Super Bowl championship. It cannot happen. We need more of an adult in the room. We'll mention the names again: Hall, Walker, Algier, Etienne, Kamara, right? Montgomery. Somebody else has to be added to this room. It just cannot be RJ Harvey. He likes that he's a 3-down back. He's like that they like that he's explosive. So do I. But we still have to get better in that room. That room has to get upgraded. I think it will get upgraded. But I'm glad that they have confidence in RJ Harvey. So do I. I just don't want him as an RB1 right now. And that they're going to be, and it's hard for me to say this word, optimistically aggressive. And I like the word aggressive, but, he's also said, and Greg Penner has said the same, is they're just not going to go wild in the offseason with spending money and overspending and stuff like that. So they do know that they have to be aggressive. This is the time to be aggressive with Bo Nix on this rookie deal. So I do like it. And, they just can't get crazy. You can't just be throwing money around and overpaying everybody. And, it might have to be a little patience and stuff like that. But go get the guys you want. Circle who you want. Go get them. And then let's build this offense and get this offense now for Davis Webb and Sean Payton and Bo Nix and everybody else to championship level. Talking about George Payton. Sean Payton, yesterday, obviously the big news was he gave up play calling. But he also broke a little news that he's been pushing for a George Payton extension. And, he kind of has already said that he's started the process, meaning talking to ownership about it. And I kind of like it. George did not get off to the best start here, right? Selected head coach Nathaniel Hackett. Again, I think we all know that that hire was because they thought, and George thought, and maybe the organization thought that Aaron Rodgers would be coming with him. Obviously, that did not happen. So Nathaniel Hackett. Then also sign in Russell Wilson to that huge extension, which, that the extension never happened here in Denver. It was just dead money for us. So, we paid off the books. We have Russ off the books now, and that's all done. But if you also look, though, what he did, right? He did draft Pat Surtain over Justin Fields when a lot of people were pushing you. We need a quarterback. You need a quarterback. Go get Justin Fields. He didn't do that. He went and he got the best corner in the league. He has done Jonathan Cooper. He's done a great job. RJ Harvey. Look at these receivers, right? Franklin, Bryant, Bo Nix. We all know Bo Nix was probably Sean Payton's pick, and that's who Sean wanted. But hey, you still got to give credit to George, right? He was part of this. He's found a lot of people, the Alex Singletons, the Riley Mosses, the Hufunga signing, the Greenlaw signing. So the Brandon Jones, the signing of McGlinchey and Powers to build this offensive line, Quinn Miners. So he has done a nice job. So I agree with Sean. I love that they work together, right? In the last 3 seasons, 32 wins, right? 32 regular season wins, a AFC West championship, a playoff win. And we all know, listen, it should have been a Super Bowl appearance and maybe even a Super Bowl championship if our franchise quarterback doesn't get hurt. Again, drafted well. He also got extensions for a lot of people out of the way. And by doing it early, saved money, right? Because those extensions probably would have been bigger contracts. No issues besides really JFM. Everybody has been taken care of. So, hey, let's extend them. The biggest thing is his relationship and his working relationship with Sean. If Sean likes dealing with them and Sean works with them and they work well together, let's keep it together. This continuity thing is big on my next topic, right? Like, That's big when it shows stability in a franchise. And we do have stability, right? We have a great ownership. And you know what? So let's get to that right now. Let's get right into that, because that leads into um, my third topic today. Is now Denver a big time destination for free agents, players, people who want to get traded? And George Paton is a part of that, right? Obviously, it starts with Greg Penner, the Walton Penner family, the ownership, and what they have done financially. Obviously, they're going to get the new stadium in 2031, but you have just seen the commitment they have made, not only to free agents, to extensions of their own players. The field, when the field was not up to par, they shelled out money to make sure that grass looked better for even the last game of the season when they weren't in the playoffs 3 years ago, right? He just, it's unacceptable. They want to be the best at everything. So yeah, George is part of that, right? George is definitely part of, why it is a, destination. And it is. Denver is now a big time destination for free agents, people who want to get traded, for any kind of player that is available. The Broncos are, like we said, ownership number one. Obviously, Sean Payton. A lot of people say Sean Payton is a tough guy, a tough, can get on you. But listen, the players love that accountability. He holds the players accountable. He knows how to win. He's done there. He's been there, done that, won championships, right? And listen, it's always about like who groomed you, right? Like he comes from the Parcells tree, and the players like that. All the players credit Sean for changing around this culture. Again, ownership has something to do with it. You could say Payton, but Sean Payton is the one who changed this culture. So, hey, now we got ownership, check. Head coach, check. General manager, he takes care of his players. Look at all these extensions that they signed, right? Again, JFM is really the only one that, and again, we don't know if it's officially that he's going to be officially not re-signed. It doesn't look like it. But everybody else they've taken care of. The Nick Bonitos, the Pat Surtains, right? The Cortland Suttons. Bo Nix will be coming up. They'll take care of Bo. So, that whole front office, 100%. Obviously, the next one is Bo Nix, right? When you have a quarterback, clutch, dynamic, a winner. You could see how he motivates his teammates, what kind of worker he is, and just the special talent. Who wouldn't want to play with a quarterback like that, especially on the offensive side of the ball, but even defensive players, right? You always look and you say, okay, like I'm a defensive player, but who's my quarterback going to be? Oh, it's going to be Bo Nix? All right, sign me up for that. But the offensive players in this, in this organization love them. From the outside, you hear a lot of people talk very highly about Bo Nix. So again, another reason why the Broncos are a destination, right? The fans. Listen, this fan base, I'm sorry, Green Bay, I'm sorry. Listen, it's the best fan base in the NFL. Look at what that place was in these playoff games all season long. But, it was raucous over there. It was nuts, and just that atmosphere, that love, the community for the Broncos, again, I just think unmatched. Obviously, a new stadium, right? State of the art. Like this stadium is going to be like no other stadium in the NFL. Again, you got the wealthiest owners by far in the NFL. They're going to build a stadium that's going to have everything. That's going to be state of the art. Like, oh my God, I want to play in that stadium. So again, another reason for a destination, and again, I'll say it again, the Payton combo, right? When you got that head coach, you got that general manager, they're working together, you got the stability. I just think it's a home run. I think that you're going to see it come free agency where players are going to say, if you're interested, I'm coming aboard. So, same thing with trades, hey, where can I go? Send me to Denver. I think you're going to hear it. I think you're going to see it, and I think you're going to hear it. And I think it's a great thing for the Broncos. Listen, when Elway was there, right, and at the end of the, especially end of his career, when they were rolling in Super Bowls, Like that was a destination. Look at in with Peyton Manning. Once Peyton went there, and then that was huge getting Peyton there. Talib followed, Ware followed, all these guys followed. T.J. Ward and Emmanuel Sanders. That's what you got going, and I think we got this going now. And again, that was the Pat Bowlen own team. And Pat did that. He always did that. He always made Denver a destination. And now the Walton Penners are doing the same thing. So I think we are in a perfect situation destination-wise. What are your thoughts, Broncos country? Do you think we're a destination? I do. I 100% do. And I think we're going to see it starting this offseason. My last thing I want to get into today is obviously viewer comments. Again, I love the viewer comments. You guys are doing an awesome job. I love responding. I love talking. I love interacting with you guys. So please leave some comments. Again, agree, disagree, whatever you want. Anything Bronco related, throw it out. Even if it's NFL related, throw it out. But Bronco related, throw it out. I will get to your comments on another show. So today's comments, one is from Jason O'Neill 3099. I enjoy the content. Thank you for that. One thing concerns me about how underutilized Mims is or was in this past season. I'm hoping this aspect is rectified by the dismissal of Lombardi and the elevation of Davis Webb. If the Broncos have the talent, then let's see it in the play calling and scheme. It seemed at times last season that the team was one-dimensional. Opponents were able to capitalize off our one-dimensional offense. I hope we can get more explosive and be aggressive in free agency. Jason, thank you for the comment, and I agree with you 100%. Marvin Mims needs to be a bigger, have a bigger role in this offense. You saw it in the postseason. He was our best receiver. What does he do? He blows the top off of the defense. You can't just cover him with one guy. And it's not always about just completing a pass. How many pass interference calls did he get? Right? It's just the defense has to react. And we talk about one-dimensional, and that's why we have to upgrade our running game. And I think we will be aggressive with the running back room in free agency, just like you said. But, guys like that, guys like Mims, defenses have to back off, right? When they back off, now I can run the ball. When Mims isn't utilized or not in the offense, and you have like a little Jordan Humphrey, Troy Frank, teams aren't going to respect over the top. Go ahead, I'm still going to put 8 and 9 in the box so you can't run, and I'll cover your guys. You can't cover Marvin Mims. The guy's a weapon. So again, I'll say this again, my perfect room, go get a legit wide receiver. A.J. Brown, Alec Pierce, Jalen Waddle. Pair them with Cortland Sutton and Marvin Mims. Those are my 1, 2, 3. Let's go. Go get a running back in free agency. Let's go. Add one more tight end to pair with Ingram, and let's go. Now that's a Super Bowl caliber offense to go with our championship defense. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go all the way to the Super Bowl. I'll tell you that right now. And that's what this team will do with that. So thank you for that comment, Jason. And my second one is from Leroy L. 6324. I like the combination thought at tight end, but I really don't think the Broncos use the tight ends correctly, and I don't understand it because Peyton's tight ends played good in New Orleans, and I even think Lucas Kroll is a good tight end if used correctly. Thank you, Leroy, for that. I agree with you. The tight end has to get more involved in this offense too. But, I think the room has to get upgraded 100%. Lucas Kroll does have talent. We've said that on this pod. He does have talent. The problem is he's hurt a lot. He's not available. The best of the best availability is availability, right? Like he's not available. So I want to move on. I want to upgrade that room. We mentioned guys, Cade Otton, right? We talked about Kyle. It doesn't look like Kyle Pitts will be available. He's going to get franchised. Trey McBride, what's the deal with him? Do we call Arizona, see what's going on? But you still have tons of other tight ends that we could look into. Dallas Goedert. Pair him with Evan Ingram, right? Evan Ingram, a little older player. Again, we have him under contract. Let's not play the game we're going to cut. We don't need to cut him. The more talent we got, let's see what Davis does now. If we are going to run, let's get a Cade Otton who's a 3-down tight end, pairing and do a 2-double, maybe a tight end set with Evan Ingram. So I agree with you. They have to design more, and I think that's something Davis will do. But yeah, I just that room has to get better. It has to get better, and I think it will. I think all three rooms will. But you know, that's gonna do it today for another edition of Broncos Daily. If anything breaks, we'll be right back on this with another show. And listen, 2 weeks free agency, right? I believe it's two, not next week, the following week. Let's go. You're starting to hear some rumors today. Some people could possibly be available. Some people getting cut. So there might be names here, especially in that wide receiver, tight end, running back room that we're not talking about. That becomes available and totally different now for the Broncos. Again, I think we're in a great spot. I think we're a great destination for players. We got money. We could get more money if we need. I think we will restructure it and get some more money. And let's go, baby. Let's go. I mean, I am so pumped about this team. I'm pumped about the way the team looks now. Let's talk about it in a month and then after the draft how this team's going to look, because I think we're going to be more explosive. We got a new play caller, and let's go, Broncos country. I'm so pumped up. I hope you are. Leave your comments. Please like the page. Please subscribe to the page. Bring some more Bronco people over. And let's go. Let's talk Broncos. And here we go. So that'll do it for now. Meet me on another edition of Broncos Daily. And go Broncos.